Hi guys, welcome to another episode, and this episode will be in a Christmas spirit. And that's because I need a holder for a Christmas tree. Thing is that the biggest holder I can buy is for a trunk up to 10 centimeters. It's 4 inches, I guess. But my Christmas tree has 15 centimeters, so it doesn't fit at all. That's why I need to make one. And because it says Christmas time, I'm out of time and as usual, and out of materials, so I'm going to make it of scraps. I have, as you can see, some old square tubes. There's a bolt, there's some hole at the bottom, and 2 flat bars. And that's what must be enough for this project. Yesterday I did some calculations, and my first approach was to build it as a triangle. But in a triangle we have just 3 welds, obviously, but also it requires quite a lot of material that I don't have. That's why it will be built out of 5 pieces. It is reasonable balance between amount of material and amount of welds that I will have to make. So because there will be 5 pieces, the angle will be 72 degrees. If you are not familiar with those angles, I will display those calculations somewhere on the overlay. But what is important when I'm going to cut it is that this angle between those 2 arms is different than this one is different than this one. One is 54 degrees and the other one is 36. So even I need a 36, because I don't have a reference this direction on my saw, I have to measure 54 to the blade. So that's the tricky part. This small saw had some issues with cutting that profile, that square tube. But to be honest, it is a pretty hard steel. I don't know the class of this steel, but it has a 3 millimeters weak wall. And when it cuts, when it passes the flat surface, it was pretty fast cut, but the biggest issue that saw has is with this very first cut on the flat surface. But I have 5 pieces like this one. Before I will start welding, I will drill holes in every element, because later I would like to either weld a nut, or maybe I will do something else to put a screw through this to hold the tree. And also I will make 2 pieces. One will be with the 3 elements and the second one will be with 2. And the thing is that the Christmas tree is already in place and I don't want to lift it because it's a pretty big tree, so I would like to surround that tree. As you can see, I'm partially dressed up for welding. And that's because I had to test my welding machine to see what the parameters I need for this kind of steel. And as I said, I didn't know what it is, and it seems to be a stainless steel, which is a kind of surprise. But I will treat it as a regular steel. First of all, I don't have gas for welding machine to do this proper welding. And that's not critical, it's just a handle for a Christmas tree. So I have 5 elements like this. There will be legs and 5 like this. Those will be for the top ring, and they will go at the end like this. Those 2 cuts are parallel, yeah? Otherwise it will not be stable. I have prepared that piece of steel, a flat bar. I'm going to cut it in 12 pieces, and there will be kind of, let's say, a fit, because at the bottom I want to screw a piece of wood. Here I have also, it's a little bit bended, but that's not an issue either. This I'm going to use for clamping 3 elements welded with 2 elements welded. So I will weld it to one of the elements on the top and on the bottom. And the second set will have just a hole, so I will be able to screw those 2 sets together. Before I will start welding, and now I have full access to that hole, and this hole is to for this threaded rivet nut. To install those rivet nuts, I have this simple tool. The biggest disadvantage of welding stainless steel is that the magnetic holders don't do the job. Okay, I have tackled them. Here are 2 from the top and 2 are on the sides, because those on the sides are where the 3 pieces will be joined with the 2. But because I would like to keep the shape temporary, I tackle all these pieces together. Metalworking is actually done. As you can see, we have 2 elements, one from the 3 pieces and the second one from the 2 pieces. Here there are holes, the same is here, to screw those 2 pieces together. Here I have screws, it's number 8, so it will be pretty solid. There's a one. There's another one. And so it's rock solid. The ball, which is already installed, is a little bit bigger than this in a diameter, maybe like 5-7 millimeters around. And the height of this ball is 14 centimeters, which means that I need this 40 centimeters between those legs on the top of this. Right now I have 13.2, more or less. And there is one more thing. Let's assume that this is our ball. So to hold a tree on place, it must be not only locked here, but also at the bottom. Otherwise it will be like a lever. So that's why I weld those feet. And I'm going to use this piece of wood. First, it will be multi-purpose. First, it will lift the whole structure a little bit. Yeah, like this. And that will be under every single leg. But let's do this for demo purposes. and now we are 15.5. The other purpose of those wooden pieces is to lock the bolt that stands on a ground. It will be locked in 5 places, so it will not move. But because it will be still on the ground, I don't have to lift the whole tree, so I don't have to modify anything that I have, and that was also one of my goals. Also, if I will realize that that size of this holder is still not enough and the tree is unstable, I can make those wooden pieces longer, so to make the leverage bigger. And the final purpose of those wooden elements is to separate the steel. Initially I didn't know this is stainless steel, but now it is welded with the regular steel, the regular MIG welding, so let's assume it is not stainless steel anymore. So the other purpose, the final one of these wooden elements, is to separate steel from the floor, because steel leaves rotten marks on the floor, that we have some, let's say, ghosts on our floor already. So that's what I would like to avoid, and that's how it looks in a final shape. Here I already mounted some screws, and I checked with, this is the slice from that Christmas tree. Of course it's not the full one, but it seems to be bigger than the minimal size that the screws can hold. Maybe it's not the most beautiful project I made, but probably one of the fastest, and it should do the work, and that's something that I cannot buy locally, so I hope it will save our Christmas. And that's it for this episode. I would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and at the end of this video I'm going to show you how this installation went and how the Christmas tree looks like. So thanks for watching, see you next time, and once again have a nice Christmas.